Here are the 3 key things you need to know about the residential real estate market in Castle Pines. To start with, I'm going to talk about the 3 key facts in the original communities, which are those that were built prior to 2015. Key stat number 1 is that the average home price has fallen slightly from the second quarter to the third quarter in the original communities in Castle Pines. The average sales price per square foot has fallen from $373 in the second quarter to $365 per square foot in the third quarter, which is a 2.1% decrease. The overall Metro Denver trend in home prices has stayed relatively flat between Q2 and Q3, so the Castle Pines real estate market is a little bit softer than what we're seeing in the rest of Metro Denver. Key stat number 2 is that fewer homes are selling in the original communities in Castle Pines. Over the past 12 months, sales are down 30.2% compared to the prior 12-month period. And this trend of slower sales is accelerating. During the month of September, sales were down 42.5% compared to the 7-year September sales average. Key stat number 3 is that inventory is staying low despite the slowdown in sales. And the reason is that current homeowners are choosing to stay put and not put their home up for sale. Over the past 12 months, new listings in Castle Pines in the original communities has dropped 27.3%. This almost matches the 30.2% decrease in sold homes over the prior 12-month period. And again, this trend is also accelerating with fewer new listings coming on the market. September new listings were down 42.5% compared to the 7-year September average. Now here are the 3 key facts you need to know about the residential real estate market in the new communities in Castle Pines, which are the communities built after 2015. The first key stat is that home prices are actually going up in the new communities and bucking the trend of Metro Denver staying flat and the original communities dropping slightly. And there's 2 reasons that prices are going up in the new communities. The first is that almost half of the sales in the new communities are driven by builders and builder new construction. And remember that builders typically sign contracts 9 to 12 months before the home is actually completed. So home sales now that are closing were put under contract 9 to 12 months ago when prices were a little bit higher compared to the rest of Metro Denver. So that being the case, it's the time lag that is helping prices stay up in the new communities. The second reason is that builders, which again account for about half of the sales in the new communities, do not like to lower their home price. So they keep their base price the same because they don't want to upset the people that bought 6 months ago, 9 months ago, 12 months ago, 2 years ago. So what they'll do instead is they'll provide other incentives outside of the sales price. And one big incentive now that they're providing is interest rate buydowns. So that could have $15,000 to $20,000 worth of value to a buyer by the reduction in their monthly mortgage payments with an interest rate buydown, but that does not show up in a drop in the home price. So because of that, we're seeing home prices continuing to rise. In fact, if you look at the 12-month rolling average, the 12-month rolling average right now is up 13.2% over the prior 12-month rolling average. The second key thing you need to know about the real estate market in the new communities is that inventory is actually building compared to it staying flat in most of the rest of Metro Denver. Now this again relates back into this is a new construction community where about half of the sales and half of the inventory is new construction inventory. At the end of September, inventory was 31.7% higher than the 3-year September average, and it's 43% higher than the 12-month rolling average of inventory. And again, the reason being for this is that builders like to stay consistent with their building. They don't like to lay people off or have to hire people. So even when the market slows, they'll continue to build at a slower pace, but they won't stop building. So maybe instead of building 5 homes a month, they build 3 homes a month. They're going to continue to build, and they will continue to build up their inventory until they get to a breaking point where they say, okay, at this point now we have to lay people off. But they'll try and prolong that as long as possible, hoping the market will recover. So we're seeing the inventory build in the new communities because of more new construction availability. The third key fact is that sales are staying relatively flat compared to what we're seeing in the drop-off in Metro Denver and the original communities in Castle Pines. And again, this ties into the builders. Builders attract different buyers than a resale home typically. And so building communities, new communities tend to sell at a more consistent pace and you don't see the ebb and flow of the market. So even though we're seeing sales drop in the rest of Metro Denver, in the new communities, we are seeing it stay relatively flat. If you have other questions about the real estate market in Castle Pines, feel free to call me at 303-886-3437, or you can always go to discovercastlepines.com to learn more market information, or you can email me at doug@doughutchinshomes.com. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to hearing from you.